Warm greetings from TNV Academy. Today we are with you to discuss about a very recently developed standard ISO 22006, which talks about crop production quality management services. So before we start our detailed discussion, let me tell you about the key deliverables of this session. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand what is ISO 22006, aim of ISO 22006, elements of ISO 22006, and the last one is principles of ISO 22006. So let's start our discussion and talk about the first point, which is what is ISO 22006. ISO 22006-2009 gives guidelines to assist crop producers in the adoption of ISO 9001-2008 for crop production processes. The term crop includes seasonal crops such as grains, pulses, oilseeds, species, fruit and vegetables. Raw planted crops that are cultivated, perennial crops that are managed over a period of time, and wild crops that are not formally planted or managed. Horticultural crops provide an even broader range of types from annual and perennial fruits, vegetables and ornamental flowering plants to perennial shrubs and trees and root crops. These diverse crops require a broad range of planting, cultivating, pest control and harvesting methods and practices. Decisions regarding planting, growing and harvesting activities can be familiar, although specific steps can be quite different when considering the range of crops. ISO 22006-2009 gives guidelines on the use and application of ISO 9001-2008 to the establishment and management of a quality management system QMS by an organization involved in crop production. ISO 22006-2009 is not intended to change and or reduce the requirements of ISO 9001-2008, nor is it intended for certification. Further down the supply chain in manufacturing processes, the language of ISO 9001-2008, ISO 15161 or ISO 22000 is considered more appropriate. The need for an ISO 9001-2008 based system containing agricultural terminology because apparent due to difficulties in the interpretation of the language of ISO 9001-2008 for crop production applications. We will now discuss about the various aims of ISO 22006 standard which are identified within the standard. ISO 22006 aims to This international standard gives guidelines to assist crop producing farm operations in the application of ISO 9001-2008. In the context of this international standard, a quality management system QMS is about how a farm operation is managed. The ultimate goal of implementing ISO 9001-2008 in a farm operation should be a combination of improved performance, financial results, and customer confidence and satisfaction. Farmers should focus on what is practical and work to implement a QMS with these results in mind. QMS are built for existing activities and should not cause excessive paperwork or lack of flexibility. QMS are not just for large farm operations. The guidelines given in this international standard are also relevant to small farm operations. Adjustments in implementation and interpretation of this international standard may be needed in small farm operations. While there may be effort involved in the implementation of ISO 9001-2008, the ultimate goal is to achieve net benefits. This international standard specifies a set of activities that need to be included. However, it does not specify how to carry them out. Listing all of the farm operation activities on a flow diagram aids in determining whether they fit together well or whether some aspects need to be changed to make the processes work better. ISO 9001 and ISO 9004 are based on 8 management principles: customer focus, leadership, involvement of people, process approach, system approach to management, continual improvement, factual approach to decision making, and mutually beneficial supplier relationships, all of which can be used to improve the performance of the farm operation. This international standard does not include requirements specific to other management systems such as those particular to food safety, the environment or occupational health and safety, and does not imply that a farm operation is obliged to implement a management system for food safety, the environment or occupational health and safety. Let us now know about our next topic, that is elements of the ISO 22006. The first one is general. This international standard specifies requirements for a quality management system where an organization needs to demonstrate its ability to consistently provide product that meets customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements and aims to enhance customer satisfaction through the effective application of the system, including processes for continual improvement of the system and the assurance of conformity to customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements. The second one is application. All requirements of this international standard are generic and are intended to be applicable to all organizations, regardless of type, size, and product provided. Where any requirements of this international standard cannot be applied due to the nature of an organization and its product, this can be considered for exclusion. Where an exclusions are made, claims of conformity to this international standard are not acceptable unless these exclusions are limited to requirements within clause 7. And such exclusions do not affect the organization's ability or responsibility to provide product that meets customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements. The third one is normative references. The following reference documents are indispensable for the application of this document. For dated references, only the edition cited applies. For undated references, the latest edition of the reference document, including any amendments, applies. The fourth one is infrastructure. Systems of facilities, equipments, and services needed for the operation of a farm to entry. This term includes, for example, equipment, facilities, agricultural land, buildings, vehicles, computers, communication systems, hand tools, production machinery, and utilities needed to produce a crop. The fifth one is field observation. A specialized type of field inspection in the context of production agriculture. This term refers to a method of inspecting a field for pests or other production problems before or during the growing seasons. It is possible for farm management or farm people to perform this activity themselves or to hire a qualified individual to conduct field observation activities depending upon the skills required and level of expertise available. The sixth one is work environment. Set of conditions under which work is performed. Farm operations may want to refer to ISO 14001 as appropriate. The term covers environmental factors in the workplace that can affect the quality of a product. This international standard does not include requirements specific to other management systems such as food safety management, environmental management, or occupational health and safety management, and does not imply that a farm operation is under an obligation to implement a food safety management system, environmental management system, or an occupational health and safety management system. We will now move forward and discuss about the principles of ISO 22006 standard. The 8 key underlying principles of crop production are client focus, leadership, involvement of people, procedure approach, system approach to management, continual development, factual approach to decision making, mutually helpful supply relationship. We have now come to the conclusion of this session. Hope you have understood about the key concepts of ISO 22006 standard. In case you have any questions regarding today's topic, then please put them in the comment section of the video and we will be really happy answering them. Till we meet next, it's best wishes from TNV Academy. Thank you.